Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Radha Madhav Jai Radha Madhav Jai Radha Madhav Jai Radha Madhav
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada हरिनाम संकीर्तन की मीनाक्षी माता जी की चिन्मय and हरि प्रभु की.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. It's a long weekend, so we'll have less crowd today, but we'll make it still entertaining and learning for all of us. And you never know, people will come a little bit later on. So my name is Shyamananda Pandit Das, and today I'll be talking about verse from Bhagavad Gita. We have started this series called 108 Important Verses of Bhagavad Gita. So there are 700 verses. Out of that, 108 are important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And with that, in that series, we have come to chapter 4, and the verse is 11. So I'll give little details about the course and how the chapter 3 started and then how chapter 4 goes. So I know there are a lot of new faces here, so welcome again to ISKCON, and hopefully you can continue. We have our programs every Saturday. We start at 5 p.m. We do Kirtan from 5 to 5:30, and then after 5:30 we do classes. So we speak on the subject for 45 minutes, and then 15 minutes is for question answers. If anyone has any questions that pertain to that particular topic that we are discussing, so they can ask. And then we do Aarti. Aarti is where we offer devotional service to the deities. And we'll be doing little Kirtan, what you just heard here. It will be on a larger scale when we do the Aarti. And then we have our dinner, Prasadam, followed by that. And then we try to wrap up and go home by 8:39. So that's our schedule. So please, if anybody is interested, come every Saturday. That's how our schedule starts with. So before we start today's program, we offer our prayers to our Guru and to the Lord. So that's called Mangalacharan, and we'll start with that. So those who are new, just look at the screen and you can try to repeat whatever you can. Otherwise, those who know can repeat with me. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I know we are attending this series after a long weekend or long weeks, because we had a lot of new speakers, and Maharaj is coming here and blessing us with their presence. So there's been a little bit longer time since our last Bhagavad Gita verse. We have completed in this chapter. So I'll repeat a little bit so we can get an overview of chapter 3, and then give you up to chapter 4, verse till 10. So we can at least connect what has been talked about for today's class. So at least you have an understanding on that perspective. So before I start, let us understand connection about chapter 3 and chapter 4. So in chapter 3, Krishna explained that lust covers knowledge. Now when we understand lust, it's not just lust in one sense of physical body. Lust means that you have craving for food, or craving for earning money, or craving for enjoying things, and craving, that itself is called. So when you have such desires to enjoy for yourself, that covers your true knowledge that you have, any desires that you keep on doing. And because of that, the ignorance binds us to the material world. So we keep on making mistakes. And we know in America there is a very famous, in English literature, there is a very famous saying, to err is human. Correct? So we keep on doing this mistake. Why? Because the desires to enjoy beyond our, how can I say, that has been granted to us, we want more and more. And when we go into that desire, it covers our true knowledge. And because of that, the ignorance comes and we keep doing mistake. So Krishna says in chapter 3 that dutifully you do detached work, or which is called karma yoga. It means given to attain transcendental knowledge. So if you do your dutifully work with detached. Detached means don't get attached to too many things, because we know that when we get attached, expectations build. And when expectations build, we know that we will fail to comply with that expectation. And at the downfall, or will fall again, and will do mistake. So Krishna explains that in chapter 3. So now Krishna even talks that about lust, and how this transcendental knowledge that Krishna explains in chapter 3 is important to conquer this lust. So Krishna uses the word spiritual intelligence. Through spiritual intelligence, you can conquer these desires. So let us understand spiritual intelligence in a little detailed way. So knowledge or memory that we have in our mind, or we understand that we know we have knowledge or memory, actually is a faculty of intelligence. So let us understand intelligence now. So knowledge or memory is a faculty of intelligence. And intelligence has two aspects. Can anyone name what would be the first aspect? What do you understand by intelligence? But we always use the word intelligence, correct? You are intelligent, that person is intelligent, my kid is intelligent, my son is intelligent. But how do we define intelligence? Okay, very nice. Yes, very nice. Yes, very nice. Okay, very nice. So that is called discrimination. One of the biggest benefits of studying scriptures, so Bhagavad Gita is a scripture, Bible is a scripture, Quran is a scripture, correct? So anytime when you study any scriptures, it has the biggest benefit is it increases our power of discrimination. So because with our own morality, our own moral principles, which will be very relative, we cannot use our own judgment, we cannot use, right? Example, why our own morality or our own moral principles will not be good? Because your ethics, your morality will be only good for you, may not be good for other. Do you understand? So with what is expected in world culture is not accepted by another culture. That is how it is. But scripture is a common platform that determines what is right and what is wrong. Correct? And that is only possible by reading, hearing, and attending classes like you all are doing. With that, we increase our power of discrimination. So like you make decisions based on logic. You are making decision based on awareness. So in Sanskrit, that word of awareness or discrimination is called swadhyay, which we are doing, attending, hearing, and listening about scriptures. So swadhyay means is to study scriptures. Then there is another aspect of the intelligence. What would it be? So you tried logic, awareness, making decisions like that. That's perfect. That is, gives you discrimination power. Then what would be the next aspect of intelligence? So let us understand, if you have this knowledge, you are attending these classes, now you have this knowledge. Now what you need? You need determination to put it into practice, where majority of us falls. We hear, it says, correct, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So what happens in here stays in here. The minute we go out of this room, we forget the scriptures and we lack determination. So determination is the second aspect of intelligence. So it always comes from practice. So you keep on practicing. The more we practice, the more we get determined. So we can understand from sports athlete, how they have the knowledge, they have coach who gives them knowledge how to perfect this sport, or like serve in tennis, or like kick in soccer, or like throwing pass in football. How is it there? How it's the same principle, the concept. But what makes the difference is determination. Why? Because they keep on practicing the same thing again and again and again. And because it's regular practice, that means regularity is our best friend. So if one keep on regularly practicing that, you will become determined and you will become good at practicing that knowledge. Are you with me? Making sense? So if you keep on doing regularly, like our everyday work, like we chant, so we have japa mala, correct? So if we keep on regularly chanting, what will happen? We become better at chanting. And why? Because we have knowledge why we are chanting. We are not blindly following chanting or meditating. We do it with reason, with understanding of this knowledge through the scriptures. So when we get doing like this, it will become our value system. So now you will become morally good based on scripture, which will be good for entire humanity, not just for one religion, one human being. It is for everyone. In this way we can do. So in Sanskrit, this determination is called sadhana. So how this sadhana works? So if you remember, Bhagavad Gita starts with a king or a prince called Arjun. And he's supposed to fight in a battlefield, and at that time he has bow and arrow. So that is called as Gandiva. So what happens? When he comes onto the battlefield, he gets overwhelmed by compassion and he says, I don't want to fight. I want to stop the war. I'll give up all the benefits or anything that is related to war. I don't want to do it. So what we do? Anytime when we get this knowledge, something happens in our life. Either our job goes, somebody comes into our life and that person disappears from our life or goes away from our life. We feel heartbroken and we say, I don't want to study religion anymore. We give up. So what that determination stands for is the bow. Every time we pick up the bow that, hey, I learned today in this class, I am determined, I'll follow. After 3 weeks, something happens and you drop the bow. I will do it later. We give up our spiritual practice. So intelligence can only be good if you have the swadhyaya, means understanding and reading of scriptures regularly, which will build your discrimination power. And that alone is not good. You also need determination to keep on practicing that scripture knowledge so you become better and better human being every single day. And that is the aspect of intelligence. So now when we are talking, so when everybody who practices this, correct? So once you start practicing this, then if you look at Arjun, for example, he was in the midst of challenges, correct? But because of practice of Bhakti Yoga, through all the hardships and challenges, we can come out of this theoretical knowledge and put it into practice. So whoever practices this spiritual sadhana is called sadhu. So now you understand, sadhu is not a cheap word. You really need to have the knowledge and then have the determination to put it into practice. That is called a sadhu. So this is what Krishna is talking. So now Krishna had glorified this intelligence called transcendental knowledge, in chapter 3. So what was the number 1? Being able to elevate us from Sakam Karma Yoga to Nishkam Karma Yoga. So what is Sakam? Sakam means you want to do some work in to get some benefit or result for your work that you are doing. So in India it's very common that we have so many deities and gods. So somebody would go to one god and say, Lord, please help me pass this interview so I can get this job. I will offer this or I'll do these things for you, correct? So this is how we start doing things. So when you have some ulterior motive to do your action, that is called Sakam Karma. Means you have some ulterior motive to do your action. That's Sakam. And Nishkam means you don't have ulterior motive. You are just doing it for the sake of doing for the pleasure of the God. Correct? Or you are not worried about the results. You don't have ulterior motive. You just do your action saying, no matter whatever comes, I'll accept it. This is called Nishkam. So what Krishna is telling, that when you elevate from ulterior motive to no ulterior motive, that is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay? And then he's telling, being able to award our intelligence the strength to overcome all our desires. So there is another part. So now you see what intelligence we learned. So Krishna was telling in chapter 3 that being able to award our intelligence to overcome all the desires. So let's say, for example, what it means. You had so many options today for long weekend to go out and enjoy your life. But you some or the other how had an intelligence to come here and listen about scripture. Make sense? With all these options, you selected this option to coming. So this is what is called intelligence, that you can make rightful decisions based on this. And then Krishna says what happens? Once you have this intelligence, having the power to purify our consciousness from passion to goodness. So what is passion? We want to work. Today is long weekend, hey, let's go out there. You don't think. You just go with the flow and you want to do action, action, action. But when you came here, you were in mode of goodness. Why? Because instead of doing action, you thought about your action. What will happen if I do this? What will happen if I do this? And you chose to come and attend scripture class here. So that is called the act of goodness or the mode of goodness. Otherwise, people, how do this happen? They always react. They don't respond. If someone tells them something, they immediately react back. What is respond? Respond means you are thinking, you are evaluating, you are taking your time to understand, and then you are responding. Make sense? So this is what Krishna says. So now we come to chapter 4. So chapter 4 emphasizing what is transcendental knowledge. So we now learned about intelligence, which is the faculty, knowledge is the faculty of intelligence. Now what is spiritual knowledge? What is transcendental knowledge? That is being talked in chapter 4. And how this knowledge is received. So one, what is transcendental knowledge and how it is received. That is in chapter 4. So in chapter 4 we have already completed verse 1 to 10. So I'll go through that before we start. So what is transcendental knowledge about Krishna? So Krishna, if anyone knows what is Krishna, anyone definition of Krishna, what it means? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, all attractive. So let's say, what do you mean by all attractive? Anything that you are looking in anyone that attracts is just one part of attractiveness. So let us understand. Krishna is all attractive, means one who has all fame. Means when you go across all the around the world, if somebody is talking about Krishna, that means they know Krishna, means he's very popular. Now you look at celebrities across the world. Maybe there might be some place in the world, they talk about him, they know about him, but they don't really talk about him every time. But like look at here, you are in Cincinnati, there is Las Vegas, you go in any place, there is someone today talking about Krishna in any part of the world. You go in Africa, there is someone who is having ISKCON classes or another classes where they're talking about Krishna. So it's all fame. Then all strength. Krishna showed his strength at the age of 7 by lifting Govardhan hill on the left hand pinky finger. Correct? So this is called all strength. So he has all fame, all strength. Then he has all wealth. How much wealth we have? Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos can buy one country, one city. Krishna had wealth, he could had the creation of this entire universe. Not only this universe, but the multiverses and the spiritual universe. So nobody is rich like him. So that's called all attractive. Then we talked all strength, all fame, all wealth. Anything else? Strength. Then beauty. Yes, beauty. So we always talk about Krishna's beauty. There are so many poems, script prayers written about Krishna's beauty, and we talk. So these are a little bit at a higher level, but just to give you, there are a lot of things and that I can't elaborate in essence of time, but understanding that. And then renunciation. So imagine you have all wealth, all beauty, all strength, all fame, and all the beauty in the world, and then you have to renounce all these things. Can you give up? So tell Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos you have everything, give up. Is it possible with the knowledge? No. But Krishna had the ability to give up. So when you have all these things simultaneously together in one person, is called all attractive. And that all attractive is Krishna. Okay? So now we are in chapter 4. Krishna is giving knowledge about himself. That is called transcendental knowledge. So Krishna says, who can acquire this knowledge? Anybody? Who can acquire this knowledge about Krishna? Very nice. Devotee and friend. So who is a devotee and a friend? So if you follow someone, correct, that is called devotee. So if you follow means you will respect the person you are following. And second, you will always listen if you have a friend. But if you are not one of this, then you will always challenge what he is talking, and you will never listen to him because you will constantly argue and debate. And if you are a friend, if you are not a friend, then you will always be envious. Oh, he's just lying, he's just talking. What knowledge he has. So if you don't come into this concept, you cannot acquire this knowledge. This happens in our material education also. We don't use the word devotee, but we use the word student. You listen to the teacher being a student. If you don't listen to the teacher, you will not get the knowledge. Okay? So same way in that concept, and you have to be friendly in that nature, in that relation. So you hear, because when we study with friends, that is how we study and we learn problems and we debate with. And that is how we get the knowledge. So Krishna says, who can acquire this knowledge? One who is a pure devotee and one who is a friend. And where do you get this knowledge from? So from where do you get this knowledge? Not yet, Mataji, not scriptures. Yes, Guru Parampara. So it is called, it should come from bona fide parampara, means bona fide lineage and disciplic succession. So what is bona fide parampara? Means it has to come from a teacher. A teacher has to have a teacher. A teacher has to have a teacher. Teacher has to have a teacher. Where will that teacher stop? To all attractive, one who has all 6 opulences together in him. Correct? So when that parampara is coming, when that disciplic succession is coming, then we know that we have to follow from that parampara. That is called bona fide lineage. Now within that bona fide lineage, that has to have a disciplic guru, disciplic succession. So means teacher has to have a teacher, teacher has to have a teacher. Nobody can say I am a self-made teacher. Then Bhagavad Gita is no of use. Because Krishna says, all attractive says, it has to come from disciplic succession. So no one can be said in spiritual science that I am on my own teacher. Like every other subject, this is also spiritual science, it's a subject. So you have to learn from the professor who is practicing and who has the knowledge from it. Correct? So a professor will get knowledge from another professor, like that it has to come in disciplic succession. So now we know who can acquire, from whom we can acquire. Then now we come to Krishna's knowledge. So Krishna's knowledge is what? So who is this all attractive? So we have to understand what he looks like. Correct? So there might be form, what he looks like, what he eats, what he dresses, how he decorates himself, how he does all those things about form of Krishna. Then where did he take birth? So it is all about his birth. And then what kind of activities he does in life. If he is all attractive, what kind of activities does. So that is Krishna's knowledge. And let's say you have understood Krishna's knowledge. Then what happens by gaining Krishna's knowledge? Now we have gained this knowledge about his form, his birth and his activities. Then Krishna gives guarantee. Correct? What he says in 4.9 verse, Janma karma che me divyam. So my form, my birth, my activities are transcendental. They are divine. And once you understand the divine knowledge, what happens by gaining this knowledge? One who takes shelter of Krishna's knowledge becomes purified, attains Krishna, and becomes free from the cycle of birth and death. This is what Krishna guarantees in verse 10. So today we are going to start with verse 4.11. So this was just a background, an overview to come to understanding of today's verse. So today's verse is 4.11. We are going to start with that. Does Prabhuji, you can give mic so somebody can repeat. Okay, there is another one also you can give to Mataji or anyone. So repeat after me. I will read one line first, then you repeat after me. Okay? Ye yatha mam prapadyante
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
tamstataiva bhajamyaham
तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
mama vartmano vartante
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
manusya partha sarvasaha.
मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वशः
Prabhuji, you can.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
Ye yatha mam prapadyante
तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
tamstataiva bhajamyaham
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
mama man vartante
मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वशः
manusya saha partha sarvasaha. Mataji, anyone?
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
Ye yatha mam prapadyante
तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
tamstataiva bhajamyaham
मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते
mama ma vartmano vartante
मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः
manusya partha sarvasaha. Mataji, you can read the synonyms.
Ye, all who, yatha, as, mam, unto me, prapadyante, surrender, tan, then, them, tatha, so, eva, certainly, bhajami, reward, aham, I, mama, my, vatma, path, anuvartante, follow, manushyaha, all men, partha, O son of Pruta, sarvasaha, in all respects.
Sorry. You can read the translation, Mataji.
As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pruta.
So if you understand from this verse, the translation of Sanskrit, the all attractive that we understood Krishna, he is saying, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So we'll understand why it is one of the important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And there is a purport written by our Acharya, his divine guest Srila Prabhupada. So Mataji, you can also read the purport.
Everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma Jyotir effulgence and as the all-pervading supersoul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the love with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees both here and in the transcendental abode associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by observing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal bliss personality of the Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the personal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruitive workers, the Lord awards to desired results of their prescribed duties as the Yagneshvara. And those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone, and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect. As is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena ijeta purusham param. Whether one is without desire, the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should with all efforts try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. So I know it's a lot of understanding from Srila Prabhupada, and there might be some words that people might not understand, but I'll try my best to make it easy for all of us to understand. So when we do any action, there is a reaction. So when all attractive Krishna, he does action, he is not bound by any results. That's the difference. When we do any action, we have reaction. When all attractive Krishna does action, there is no reaction to him. That is called karma, correct? We get karma. He does not get to any result. He is always in liberated state. When one understands this fact about Krishna and applies this transcendental knowledge to his own work, he becomes a devotee of Krishna. And he also becomes aloof from the material world of action and reaction. So what is success? If we understand his concept that he is not part of the chain reaction that we are part of, we will become very friendly to Krishna. And once we become friendly to Krishna, the intelligence comes, and through that intelligence, we also become liberated from the reactions of our action. Okay? Now that Krishna has given that full guarantee in 4.9, where he says that once you know about this, you are becoming free from birth and cycle. So we'll come to understanding of the first thing Prabhupada has mentioned. There are 3 levels of understanding, or understanding of absolute truth, realization. So how do we understand absolute truth? So let us come to the understanding of absolute truth. So anybody wants to try what is the absolute? Prabhupada said it is called Brahman. Brahman means the energy. So you see sunlight, wind, anything that you see around us is energy. So that is the first aspect of understanding the absolute truth. It's beautiful place, nature is beautiful. There is energy of the all attractive. That is called Brahman level. So that is called the energy, like sun rays, sunshine. It's a beautiful energy, correct? That is part of understanding one aspect of absolute truth. So let us say that when we are trying to achieve things in our life and we are trying to be in this aspect of Brahman. We are trying to achieve the all material energies of Krishna, the all attractive. So once you achieve this, then people want to inquire what is beyond the energy of Krishna. Then come to the realization of Paramatma. So that Paramatma is called the expansion of all attractive Bhagwan into localized. Means every atom, every living being has Paramatma within himself or herself. Every living being has Paramatma in them. There is the knowing second aspect. If Paramatma is not there, even it says, without Lord's mercy, nothing moves on this planet. So we cannot also move if His mercy is not there. So once you come from the energy to the Paramatma level, that is the localized aspect, that every living being has Paramatma within them. And then the third aspect is called Bhagwan, the personality, God Himself, Krishna, that the personality living within. So we have sun globe and the sunlight. So light cannot come without sun. So all this energy cannot come without all attractive. Then that all attractive has form, he has taken birth. What is the form? So the scripture shows that Krishna has a form, and that is what it is. So these are 3 aspects of understanding the absolute truth. Transcendental. So in this verse, normally we have the first verse, and there where people normally quote. So let's put the verse up here so we can understand. So if you see, let me do the translation, so I think that's better. So as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So normally most of people who are friendly to Krishna, they are quoting this part. And people who are not friendly to Krishna, they will quote the second part of this verse, which calls, everyone follows my path in all respects. Means you can do anything in the world, everyone is following my path. So you can drink, you can eat, you can do whatever religion you create in your own mind. You can say every path leads to Krishna. So people who are not friendly with Krishna will take this part and they will talk on this. But those who understand scriptural and spiritual science and knows Krishna, like we understood, who can acquire this knowledge? Devotee and a friend. So they will talk, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So this is what. So what is first part? So people sometimes say that God is very impartial. He is not friendly to everyone. One is so rich, one is so poor. One has great body, one is disabled. One can speak, one has trouble speaking. Correct? So people say if God is equal to everyone, then why He is creating such things? Correct? This is the first question that comes to anyone's mind. So what Krishna says here in Bhagavad Gita to clarify this, He says, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So what is your desire to come to all attractive? In which mood you are coming to all attractive? Based on that, He reciprocates. So let us understand from material aspect. When we go to school, how do we study? What is our intention to study? To get marks or to get advancement, correct? But there are some students, that is one category. What would be other category of students? One who can just pass, okay. Then there must be another category. Come on. To make friends, to learn. Correct? Okay. So you see, there are so many different aspects. The teacher is teaching the same subject, but everyone has different motive. One wants to come first, wants to become a gold medalist because they want to go to prove something. They have a lot of inquisitiveness that they want to perform better in this world. Somebody just wants to get good marks so I can get a better job and I can have better life. Somebody just wants to make friends. Somebody just wants to learn, and somebody just wants to pass that, hey, I passed and I want to get a job and move on with my life. So everyone has. So in same way, Krishna says, there are people who come to me in the same way. And how they, in what categories people come. So now one we learn is that how do people come into Krishna? Now Krishna is spiritual science. What we talked about learning knowledge is material science. So now let's come to spiritual. Like why is someone go to Lord Jesus? Why someone will go to Allah? Or why someone would go to Krishna? All inclusive. Correct? All attractive. Why would someone go to them? What would be the reason? We learn the material aspect, now we talk about spiritual. Why would someone go to God? Okay, one in problem, yes?
To get wealth or peace.
To get wealth or peace, okay.
Also the family come from, start following the same thing.
So the tradition, so that is knowledge we call, okay. Desires fulfilling, so they said yes. Inquisitiveness, yes, Prabhu. To not have any desire means to get the knowledge of not having the desire, correct? So what happens? Krishna says that in spirituality people come with jigyasa, means you have curiosity or inquisitiveness to come to me. Then, as Mataji said, mental peace. I want peace. I'm tired of this world, like always problems and challenges, never having any mental peace. Then somebody just wants to come for knowledge. There must be something higher than this. I want to know what is that. So somebody is coming to him for knowledge. And then somebody is so frustrated and has so much problems, he's always suffering in life. So that person also tries to Lord and say, Lord, why I'm suffering? I want to know the answer. Then somebody is like, you know what? I don't care. I just want to find the meaning of life. Correct? So that is what is the truth. He wants to or she wants to find that. So these are reasons, correct? So now let's say if you are in curiosity mode and you are trying to go in curiosity mode and learn about curiosity and inquisitiveness, then what will Krishna give you? Will he give you wealth? What will he give you? What you are desiring. You are coming for inquisitiveness. He is going to give you result for inquisitiveness. Is not going to give you sorrow or wealth because you are not coming with that desire. Now let's say if someone is having sorrow and he or she is coming to Krishna for saying or to God that I want to know what is the purpose of sorrow, why I am getting sorrow. What will Krishna give him? The knowledge on how to eradicate sorrow. Is not going to give him wealth, because if you give someone who is bankrupt and or a poor people, you cannot give him $2 million, because after 5-7 months he'll be back being pauper again, because you don't have the capacity to value the money that you will have. So Krishna will give you what you desire. So what Krishna says, I am not impartial. I am not giving you anything based on what I am supposed to give you. I am neutral to everyone, but based on what your desires, based on your actions in your past life and in this life, because of that reaction, you get that suffering or enjoying. So Krishna is always neutral. So what it means, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So with what intention, with what desire you go to Krishna, the all attractive, based on that, you get the fruits from Krishna. So now let's say if someone goes to find love for Krishna or to love with Krishna, what would Krishna give? Love. Simple, right? So if someone desires wealth, what will Krishna give? Wealth. Okay? So now you have to understand in what desire you come to Krishna. So if you are coming for material desires, Krishna will award you material desires. If you try to come to know about his birth, like he had mentioned earlier, I told you, correct? I showed you. If you try to learn about his form, his birth, his activities which are divine, then what Krishna will give you? Himself, because that is what he is. When he gives himself means you are free from cycle of birth and death. So that is the highest achievement that one person can try to achieve in this human form of life. Correct? What is the ultimate truth? And why I am taking birth again and again. So Krishna says, if you understand this, you will be free. So what he says, as all surrenders unto me, I reward them according to me. So let's say somebody with fruity workers. So in Karma Yoga it is said, correct? We talked about Sakam Karma and Nishkam. So we talk about fruity workers. So what does fruity workers do? God, I need wealth. God, I need to pass this interview. God, help me to get this contract done so I can get wealth, or whatever it is, correct? So when he is in the form of fruity workers, then Lord is as Yagneshwara. Why? Because you are sacrificing something in front of Lord to get the reward what you want. You are making that effort. Then with impersonalist. Impersonalist means the first aspect of knowing absolute truth, which is his energy. So some impersonalist means believes God does not have form. God cannot be human. God is present in form of energy. They are impersonalists. They don't believe God has a form. Okay? So for that, Krishna comes as Lord as Brahma Jyoti. Means he will only give them that, okay, you believe in energy, then you can merge with me in energy. Because that is what their desire is. Okay? And then are people who do yoga, which we call yogis. So there are people who is doing yoga and they are practicing very strict body postures. So what will God give him? When you are doing so much austerity, they give him mystic powers. So they can perform through their austerity, they can perform some miracle things. Like they can call any of the energy of the Lord in the hand. So like a yogi can sit here and he can just do like this and he can call gold in his hand. Because he has achieved that austerity through yoga. This is called mystic powers. Tomorrow you have to go to gym and you have to practice for 3 years to lift 200 kilo. For a yogi who will be very skinny, he can come and he can lift it without any practice. That is called mystic power. Why? Because he is practicing for that. So Krishna awards mystic powers to them. Now let us say people who are devotees, who wants to learn Krishna, who wants to know about Krishna. What will Krishna give him? So Krishna will give him greatness in terms of that he is trying his best to learn about me. So Krishna will award him, so he will progress slowly towards greatness. Then one will come in loving service of Lord, like we are here. Today there are so many devotees who cooked food for all of us. That is called loving service, in dasya mode, in the servant mode. Correct? Then we have vatsalya, means parental affection. And then friendship, as we learned. And then madhurya ras means in form of love, in a form of lover. So whatever this devotees goes in this form, they respond in that form with Krishna, will respect in that desire. So you can be in any of these 5 things and Krishna will reward you in that way. So everyone depends on his mercy. So let us go to understand in a very graphical way so you can understand it. So let us say person, conception and destination, how Krishna awards them. So a pious materialist means he is doing everything good for the society, he is a good human being and he does lot of charity and he doesn't harm anyone. He is called pious materialist. So what will be his conception? God is fulfiller of my material desires. Everything I want, God has blessed me and I get everything. And this is pious materialist. What will be his destination? So what means by destination? What will he take birth in the next life? That will be continues in material world. Means he will again take birth in this world and he will continue in this world. That is what says. Now Mayavadis, we call impersonalist, who does not believe in Krishna's form. So what is their conception? Their conception is Krishna's form and activities are illusion. They are not real, they don't exist. They are in illusion. So what will Krishna give them? What will Krishna will award them? So what Krishna says, I make their form and activities into Maya, means their activities and their information is also in illusion, because that is what they are thinking. So Krishna rewards them accordingly. And then devotees, like anyone who believes Krishna is there and Krishna is real and his activities are real. So what is their conception? Krishna's form and activities are eternal, divya, divine. They never exhaust. So what is their destination? Krishna also says, I make their form and activities into eternal. So we are free from cycle of birth and death. This is what Krishna. So as you desire, that is how Krishna rewards. So you understand somebody is suffering, it is not that God is making them suffer. It is because of their ignorance, because of their past knowledge, they are suffering in this world. So how can they come out of this suffering? Then someone like us have to try to pass this knowledge. We are also not perfect, but we try to bring them in this process. And through this process, they can become better through the knowledge. This is what Krishna is saying. So now we come to the second part. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So what people say, that everyone who thinks, what is the second part we were talking about here? That everyone follows my path in all respects, correct? So does it mean that whatever activities I do, we are following Krishna's path? Does it mean that? This is what Krishna is trying to tell here. That you can do anything, but you are still following my path. So you can go and drink, get drunk, and you do crazy things. You are still following my path. Is it true? No, correct? That does not what Krishna says here. Means, in simple words, means all path leads to same goal. No, it is not like that. So if someone is studying and working hard in school and college to become a doctor, they will become doctor. And somebody who is just enjoying life, getting drunk and doing things and not going to college, do you think he will become doctor? So how come if it is not possible in material world, how can we accept or argue on that every path leads to Krishna or to God? Doesn't make sense. So then where do we understand where this path comes from? That Krishna has given. That all the path that he has explained in scripture through all the yogas, through that path you can come. So let us understand otherwise it will not make difference, correct? Like if we are not following all these things. So let's say we get up early in the morning, we do Mangala Aarti. We chant or do our japa in 4:30 a.m. We follow regulative principles. If we are following in, everyone is doing different activities and they are going to go to Krishna, then why we are doing all these things? We should also enjoy. There is no meaning of this. Then Bhagavad Gita becomes worthless. It is no point. Why is Krishna talking all these things? Okay? So it is not that following any path ultimately will reach to God. It will not match with Bhagavad Gita's verse. So now you see what in Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yanti deva vrata devan, pitran yanti pitrivrata, bhutani yanti bhutejya, yanti madhyajino apimam. So what is the translation? Those who worship the demigods will take birth among demigods. This is Krishna saying. Those who worship their ancestors, like they believe in their great-grandfather or their grandmother, in their ancestors, go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. So you see, he's telling all path does not lead to same goal. He's clearly telling, so if you are following this path, you will go to this end goal. If you are following this path for this goal, you will reach that second goal. So everyone who follows their different path, they are achieving or going to that goal. But those who follow me and worship me, they will come to me. Means they will be free from cycle of birth and death. So what is the path that Krishna talks? Correct? So Krishna has given the yoga ladder in Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita there is a ladder. So first is called animal life. Animal life means unrestricted sense gratification. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. That animal does. And if you don't inquire why I am born as human, then we are in animal life, because even animal does this. We are eating, we are sleeping, we are mating, and once we have kids, we defend them. For that we work hard so much. Animal does not work hard. It sleeps in daytime, enjoys, relax, eat, but it does the same. So if we are doing this, then we are in animal life. Then comes karma kand. Karma kand means regulated sense gratification. Where is that regulated sense gratification comes? Through scriptures. You cannot make your own religion and your own things. Oh, if I do this, I'm better than God, or I'm following God's principle. Like we just explained about alcohol, correct? Because once you become alcoholic or you take alcohol, then alcohol makes you think what you are going to do, and you do wrong actions. So karma kand means following scriptures and taking that, and that is called human life. So we are not animal, we are better than animal, because we are following the rules and regulation set up by the Lord himself. Okay, so there is any human life. Now we talked about Sakam Karma Yoga. So this is what Krishna is talking. What is the next letter? Now you know you are in human form, you are following scriptures. Now in scriptures also it is said, okay, if you want to desire wealth, then you do X amount of activities, you will get wealth. If you want good wife, follow these rules, you will get good wife. You want good husband, follow this process, you will get good husband. You want good kids, follow this process, you will get. So that is called Sakam Karma Kand. That's the Sakam. Then comes Nishkam Karma Yoga. What you do? I don't care for all these results. I just want to perform my action without any results. I want to be detached. That is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. So what is Krishna saying? When you are following this path, then you come to me. And this is the path he has explained in Bhagavad Gita. Then somebody is coming for Jnana Yoga, means I only want to get knowledge about the absolute truth, the all attractive. So he is on the Jnana platform, or Jnana Yoga, or knowledge based yoga. And then somebody says, I want to come to the form of austerity. I want to do physical yoga, which is called Ashtanga Yoga. So Krishna explains all this in Bhagavad Gita. If you are following this path, then Krishna says, you come to me. Correct? And the last destination is Bhakti Yoga, which is Krishna himself, coming to know about Krishna and knowing Krishna. So Krishna says, this is indirect process, because you have to pass through each step to go to the next life. What happens if you die in between these steps? You will have to start again from zero. So Krishna says, there is an elevator. You either take the steps and come to me, or there is an elevator from human life where you know that regulated principles. You can take direct process and you learn about Krishna and learn more about him. That will bring you direct elevator, bypassing all the steps. So this is what Krishna means in the second part, that everyone who follows, they come to me. Now which path? It is this path that Krishna is saying. Now let us understand from material world. There is a train junction. Now one train goes to Chicago. Okay, let's forget train, but we have airport. People can understand airplanes very easily. So we are in Cincinnati, and let's say we go to Cincinnati airport. From that, how many destination it goes? One can go to Las Vegas, one can go to New York, one can go to Toronto, one can go to India, one can go to Paris, correct? These are all destinations. Now, is all this destination going to the same goal? They are all going to different paths. So Krishna is telling, if you have different path, you will go to different destination. But if you follow my path, then you come to me. So if you are in the path of Paris, like people are, Krishna says the process, come into this process. So what do you mean by process? Let us say you want to go to Paris, but there are people who wants to say that I just don't want to fly. I want to take stops and go in between, see other countries and enjoy. Correct? In the path. So there are some people who wants to take a bike and go. So they take a ferry, they take a flight from here, they take bike into ship, they'll take the cruise, they'll take their bike, they'll get down at the first European island, and from there will start taking bike or a car or a cycle. These are enthusiastic who just wants to explore country. Okay? So Krishna says like that, if you come into my path and you take steps by step, bicycle or car or motorcycle, you are taking this indirect process of coming towards me. But if you take a plane and come directly to Paris, you sit in elevator, you come directly to Bhakti process. So which one we will take? Depending on ourselves, what is our intention, what is our desire. Based on our intention and desire, Krishna will reward you accordingly. So everything depends on us, because we have to inquire why I am here, what is my purpose in life. Because if you are just eating, mating, and sleeping and defending, then you are just a better version of an animal. We are two-legged, they are four-legged. That's the only difference. So now when we inquire about this, then Krishna says, know about me, and you are in the right direction, and you will get to know me. So this is what Krishna means by that. So I'll pause with that here. So if anyone has any questions or comments or realizations, you can share. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
I don't know much about Bhakti Yoga, but if you want to do Bhakti Yoga and not do all those steps, I'm just not getting that part.
Okay. So Prabhuji's question is, he's not getting power, and explain little bit more detail, like in how if you do Bhakti Yoga, all these things are included in it, correct? In that way. So let me show you the ladder so you can understand in that sense. So Bhakti Yoga is a process. So when you come in Bhakti, means you already understand that all the energy of in the world, this world, including atoms and everything, is part and parcel of Krishna, the all attractive. Okay, that's one. And so you respect everything around you, nature. Then Paramatma level, the next level, is called that he is in everyone. So when you are walking on street, if there is an insect, you will try to make sure you don't step on it, because you believe he is also part and parcel of Krishna. So what it happens, you are respecting that the super soul is existing in every living being. So you become compassionate towards other living beings. And because you know, then you are already knowing that Krishna is the supreme, he is all attractive. So that is one understanding of the Bhakti Yoga. So when you are in that, what will happen? You are already bypassing animal life because you are aware of this. What happens next? You are not desiring any results because you understand nothing is in your control. Everything is in his control. So you passed already Sakam Karma Yoga because you are not desiring any results. You are just thinking, I will do my act because I am not in control of the results. Let us understand from material aspect. You are going to go a challenge in an exam or something. Do you know how many marks or how much marks you will get? You are not in control. So what you are in control? To do the effort, to do the work, and results are not in your part. So when you understand this Bhakti Yoga, you will not desire for the results. Why? Because you will keep on doing your effort and forget the result. So you are already included Sakam Karma Yoga because you are not doing, and Nishkam Karma because you are not expecting any desires or results of your action. So Nishkam Karma Yoga is already in Bhakti Yoga. Okay, now you come to Jnana Yoga, knowledge based. So what are you doing here? Learning knowledge about Krishna, correct? And what is yoga? Ashtanga Yoga means you have to sit in some body posture. What are you doing for last 1 hour here? Sitting and listening. That requires patience, correct? Otherwise people get up, can't sit at one place. So Bhakti Yoga includes everything in it. So you don't have to go through all this process. But Bhakti Yoga is easy, but it has process within it that you have to follow. Like services, doing things for other, and all these things. Make sense? Does it answer your question? Okay, thank you. Anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for this lecture. Do we believe in past life karma? like in ISKCON?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so my question is that how does it affect today's life, devotional, meaning as like bhakti life, you know, according to our past life karma? If we have like committed too much sin in our past life, and then we are trying to like get connected to Krishna, but then, you know, we have to face our past life karma. So does it affect our life in like today's life with Krishna?
Yeah, sure. Let me try. Very interesting question. So what it means is, yes, Krishna says himself in Bhagavad Gita, the law of karma are very complicated. So don't try to learn or know about the laws of karma, action and reaction. That's what Krishna is saying. They are very complicated. But Krishna also says, so whatever you have done in your past life, it will definitely impact you on your next birth. But once you take next birth, Krishna says, as you come to me, I reward you. So he will always give you an opportunity to connect with him in some way. So you can see so many new people came. Now they have been given an opportunity to connect with Krishna. So now it is up to you to make an effort to know Krishna. So Krishna says, if you make an effort, then what he says, if you learn about me, my birth, my form, and my activities, then I free you from birth and cycle, means he wipes out all your karma. So in this life, if you inquire just about little, that am I better than animal? If I am better than animal, then why I am born as human? Because if I am just eating, mating, sleeping and defending, then I am an animal. Then why God has given me this human form? And when you start inquiring about that, then Krishna says, once you come in this bhakti yoga process, then it has power, he has power to wipe out all your past karmas, past reactions of all your birth. There are so many examples. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, I have one more question, if I may ask.
Yes.
So, you know, sometimes being in a bhakti marg, we know that we should not do some things, but we still do it because we want to do it. I think we are like very connected to Maya and materialistic. So even though we know like that's not what Krishna wants us to do, but we still do it. How can we like make ourselves not do it, or just getting out of that cycle?
Very nice question. I explained earlier, Mataji. You see what we do? This is what our things is, intelligence, correct? So we have this knowledge, and what did I say? Determination. Determination to practice this knowledge. And we fail at practicing this knowledge. So we are like Arjuna. When problem comes, we put our Gandhi, I don't want to fight the battle. So we give up our process of bhakti because the rules are tough to follow. So what we do? I don't want to follow. But it is difficult because good decisions are difficult to make, but they are easy to live with. Bad decisions are very easy to make, but very tough to live because you'll always have the guilt left in the mind. So this is how you can do it. Keep on practicing. No one is perfect, not me also. So I'm just saying, I try my best to try to follow the process. And once you make mistake, you try to learn from it and move forward. Does that help? Okay. So with that, we'll pause the class here. Hare Krishna. And I have a couple of announcements to make. From today onwards, we are trying an effort to make program go on time scale or time basis. So everyone gets home at right time. So remember, next Saturday, we will sharply start Kirtan at 5 p.m. No matter we have 2 people or 3 people, class will start at 5:30 sharp, and it will close at, class will, I know I went 10 minutes over, but we'll try to keep the class sharply close at 6:30. And at 6:30 we will do Aarti for half an hour, and from 7 to 7:30 we will have Prasadam, and we'll try to clean the place. So everybody can leave this building by 8:30, so everybody can be at home by their place at 9 o'clock and can sleep. So please remember if to come in time next week, and we'll start class again at 5:30, same time. So with that, we'll pause, and we'll be doing the Aarti and paraphrasing. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So before we move on with the Aarti, Prabhuji, our sincere apologies. we have a practice here. Whenever we have a speaker, we introduce them. I'm sorry, Prabhuji, that we did not introduce you today, but I would take a moment now to introduce our speaker today. His Grace Shyamananda Pandit Das Prabhuji. He is a disciple of His Holiness Asit Krishna Swami Maharaj. As we can see, he has deep knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, and he has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 12 years now. And he has been running some Bhakti Vraksha. Bhakti Vraksha is basically Bhagavad Gita class. It is a weekly class. He runs that. And he has, with his devotion, dedication, and his belief in Krishna, he has also inspired a lot of us. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. I would say we give 3 big Haribols for Prabhuji. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Thank you.
जय जय श्री गौर निताय चंद्र भगवान की जय। की जया जया घोरा चांदे आरती कशोभा
की बजायो जयो गौरा चांदे आरती
कशोभा जानावेतात वने जागमनलोभा जानावेतात वने जागमनलोभा इबादके निंताय चाम मामे गददादा इबादके निंताय चाम मामे गददादा निकटे अद्वैतासिनी वासा छत्राधारा निकटे अद्वैतासिनी वासा छत्राधारा विभवसे अचे गोराचान रत्ना सिंहासने बसे अचे गोराचान रत्ना सिंहासने बसे अचे गोराचान रत्ना सिंहासने बसे गोराचान रत्ना सिंहासने देवगाने आरती करना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने बनराहरि आदि करे चामरा दुलाया नरारे आदि करे चामरा दुलाया बनरा आदि करे चामरा दुलाया बनरा आदि करे चामरा दुलाया संध्या मुकुंदा वसु गोसादे गाया संध्या मुकुंदा वसु गोसादे गाया शिव शंका बजे घंटा बाजे भजे करताला वशंका बजे घंटा बाजे भजे करताला शिव शंका बजे घंटा बाजे भजे करताला वशंका बजे घंटा बाजे भजे करताला माधुरा मृदंगा बजे पारमरसाला माधुरा मृदंगा बजे पारमरसाला शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माध 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 बाजे 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मध मध माध बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्राजिनी आदनवज्वाला बहु कोटि चंद्राजिनी आदनवज्वाला babahu koti chandra jini vadana ujvala babahu koti chandra jini vadana ujvala gala dese mana mala kore jalamala gala dese mana mala kore jalamala shiva sukha narada preme gada gada shiva shiva sukha narada preme gada gada shiva shiva sukha narada preme gada gada shiva sukha narada preme gada gada bhakati vinodadite Gorara sampada bhakati vinoda dekhe Gorara sampada Gorange rarati kasaba Jagajanamana-loba Gaurange rarati kasubha Jagajanamana-loba Gaurange rarati kasubha Jagajanamana-loba Gaurange rarati kasubha Jagajanamana-loba Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Anitai Gauraniva Haribo Hare Bol Nitai Gaura Hare Bol Nitai Gaura Hare Bol Hare Bol Hare Bol Nitai Gaura Hare Bol Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Nittai Gauranga Nittai Gauranga Nittai Gauranga Nittai Gauranga Nittai Gauranga Gaura Hare Nittai Gauranga Gaura Hare Gaura 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 Hare Gaura 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 Hare Gaura 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 Hare Gaura 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 Hare Nittai Gauranga Gaura Hare Nittai Gauranga Gaura Hare Jai Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Jai Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Jai Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Jai Satchinandana Gaura Hare Jaya Satchinandana Gaura Hare Gaura 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 Hare Govinda जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद 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 जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद 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 जय जय हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः हरिहराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः यादव माधवाय केशवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधरी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिधरी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपदाय परमहंस प्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तम सत श्रीमद् एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ISKCON BBT फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपदाय परमहंस प्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तम सत श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की गंगामाई यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
मायापुर धाम की, वृंदावन धाम की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Everybody, please be seated. Please be seated. We'll be doing Nrsimhadeva Aarti. Go on.
Oh, okay.
Nrsimhadeva
I just hold it right.
Yes, put it.
Can I have the mic? Can I have the mic?
You all have to sing here.
Just check.
Start all of you together.
Namaste Nrsimhaya. Praladadayine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimha. Yato yato yamitato Nrsimha. Bahir Nrsimha Hudaye Nrsimha. Nrsimhamadem Sharanam Prapade. Tavakara Kamalavare Naka Adhuta Shringa Chalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrisha Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Abakara Kambala Abhuta Shringa Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadrita
Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev
Jaya Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, 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 Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nrsimhadeva.
भक्त नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
Prasad Govinde, Prasad Govinde, Nama Brahmani Vaishnave, Nama Brahmani Vaishnave, Swapa Punyavatam Rajan, Swapa Punyavatam Rajan, Vishwaso Nivajayate, Vishwaso Nivajayate, Sarira Vidyaja, Sarira Vidyaja, Jovendriyata Hekal, Jovendriyata Hekal, Jive Fale Vijaya Sagare, Jive Fale Vijaya Sagare, Taramata Jivati, Taramata Jivati, Lobo Mysore Dharmati, Lobo Mysore Dharmati, Take Jita Katina Samsare, Take Jita Katina Samsare, Krishna Bharadayamay, Krishna Bharadayamay, Kari Bari Jivajay, Kari Bari Jivajay, Swaprasadana Dilo Bhai, Swaprasadana Dilo Bhai, Sena Mitra Pao, Sena Mitra Pao, Radha Krishna Gunaga, Radha Krishna Gunaga, Premedako Sri Chaitanya Nitai, Premedako Sri Chaitanya Nitai, Janima Janitai, Janima Janitai, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprasadam ki.
Thank you everyone for doing the Aarti. Now we'll be serving prasadam, so you can stand up in the queue there. We'll be all having prasadam. Thank you.